key here is simplicity. You really need to make sure that the content is up first and that you're reducing as much as possible all the barriers for your users to access the content. We have to stop trying to fight for eyeballs and create walled gardens. We really need to build platforms that enable the distribution of the content as far as it can go, or actually where the users want to see it.
Decide when things aren't working and make changes and just keep it nimble and keep it light enough. I say it, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge all the time.
Think of users that don't have the same technical capabilities and allow them to contribute and enjoy the content, right? So I think there's room and there's a place for content-rich application, but there also needs to be a really easy, TV-like, enjoyable experience. It depends what you want to do. If you want to create a software, that's one thing, but if you want to showcase films or content, that's another thing, and you have to be clear on what it is that you're trying to do.
Be innovative in monetizing it. I mean, most of the platforms are emerging platforms, and I think at this stage of the life of video online, it's better to experiment in all different places. So I would make it as open as possible, but also make it very flexible on the monetization piece. So advertising, subscription-based, a la carte, whatever works. I would play with everything.
Do what you love so much that you would do if there were no money involved. I think now more than ever, the idea of approaching web video as a kind of a get-rich-quick scheme, like a lot of people were a couple of years ago, you need to seek mental health if you're thinking that way.
I think the best way to fight piracy, if you feel compelled to fight it, is not by taking down or going after the copyright after the downloading user or the organization that put it out, but rather just provide better alternatives, legal alternatives for the user to get the content. If it's easy and accessible and affordable, people will go to the legal alternative.
Figure out what kind of approach you're going to take towards copyright and towards utilizing other people's stuff. If you want to try to play strictly by the rules and utilizing Creative Commons and and creating all your own footage or finding other people's footage, or else if you want to just kind of go take it completely free and just not ask permission, not worry about things, and just kind of figure out that everything's fair use. I mean, I think that's really an important kind of thing to figure out what you want to do beforehand and then kind of go for it, because otherwise you don't want to be caught up in the constant conversation about, oh, could we get in trouble with this? Oh, could we get in trouble with that? Either you got to just say, hey, we're going to go for it, or not.
I think it's a general big mistake that with the internet right now you can just put stuff out there and it kind of takes care of itself. These things take time and they take a lot of care and effort.
I would definitely make sure to have people on the ground doing outreach, because the idea to think that you build it and they will come is false. You need to have, it takes a lot of work to get people to actually engage, and it takes a lot of one-on-one. Either you do it on the ground or you do it through the networks online. You've got to do it. You can't get around it. So that's really important work. And why would people come to your network unless they feel somebody's out there who cares, who's interested? It really takes engagement.
You have to stop thinking of viewer as just people who watch. It should be people who can participate into your project. So I would make sure that I find people of interest, and you do that. You have to do that very actively. You have to do that through the internet community tools, which are Twitter, which are Facebook group, which are blogs, which are anything, anything that you can think that brings you to people. It can be forum, it can be a regular mail. Just find the people of your interest, tell them you exist, and help them to interact with you.